Hello, Anna Stanton here. I've just come from a coaching session with a client who is telling me about what she had been attracting in her life, and yet there was a sense of in her tone of voice there was something missing. And I challenged her on. I said, "What?" I said, "I hear what you're saying, but I'm not feeling the energy of your own success coming forward in your voice. And there's something, what are you holding back?" And she said, "Oh, I don't feel like I've achieved enough. I don't feel like I've made enough money yet. I feel like there's something always missing." And this was mainly about, a particular client who wanted to attract more clients, had cancellations, and then got into concern about her financial situation, obviously, upbringing with children and so forth. So that's very natural when you're running your own business, isn't it? So I then asked her, "Well, how much are you bringing in?" Because she was sharing with me about how she'd put something out online, she attracted new clients, okay, and yet she was still running that same old story of, "I don't have enough clients, I don't have enough money, I don't," and so forth, all right? So what was happening was that she was keeping herself stuck inside of the story, no matter what she was manifesting, attracting in her life. So in other words, she was bringing in more money, bringing in more clients, yet still feeling like it wasn't enough. So she was running a very old belief story from her own upbringing, as we got to the core of it, around money and lack thereof. And you got to work hard to make money and you never have enough and so forth. So we really had to work on the beliefs. And I really got her to identify how much money she was making, bringing in, write it down on a weekly basis, and how did that marry up on a monthly basis, and if you tally that over 12 months, how much was the annual income, right? We're not talking about profit yet, but we're talking about the income, just to get her brain ticking into the facts and figures of what she is making, who she is attracting, yeah, and her own manifesting power in action. She totally disconnected from that, right? So then, if you can relate to this, yeah, I certainly can. Yeah, I spent many years doing this and not feeling like I was had enough, no matter how much money I was bringing in, how many clients I was attracting, how much life I was living, still not feeling like it was enough. I hadn't achieved enough. The vision, I hadn't manifested the full vision of what it was. But the facts are, the truth is, you never will. So you may as well come back into the present moment of what's important. So we then identified what her core values were, because she said, "I really want to make time to spend more time with my family." Because I said, now that you can see the facts and figures of what you're making, I said, "Is that the first time that you've actually written it down and really looked at and let it in what it feels like?" And she said, "I'm not sure what it feels like. I don't know how to feel when it comes to letting it in." I said, "Well, that's a practice," because it is. And I said, "Well, if if you can imagine yourself already feeling so secure and safe," because ultimately that's what it is. We think it's about financial security alone. When I went through this process myself, I realized it was about physical security, emotional security, financial security, and spiritual security, meaning, was I being my true self? Was I honoring my core values? Was I being consistent in listening into the actions based on what is important to me and my highest priorities, right, each day? Okay, so what she was saying, I said, "Well, if you now that you know that within yourself that this is what you are making, yeah, then if you let that in and own it, what would that feel like? What would that abundance feel like? And how would that change your life?" And she said, "Well, I would relax more." And I would spend more time with my family. I'm with my family, but I'm always thinking about other things that I need to be doing in the business to get ahead, to make more money, and so forth and so forth. So it takes her away from being fully present and fully alive in her life, especially with her family and her children. And then she said also, I would be more present at the gym with my body, with my mind, and I would be more relaxed, allowing myself to have more fun, okay? So this is the practice. It's letting that in. And I said, well, then now it's feeling those feelings consistently and letting it in, practicing. I remember I had to feel the feelings and practice what that felt like because I'd never allowed myself to relax enough to feel what fun felt like, to feel what joy felt like, to feel what abundance felt like. Yeah, it doesn't mean, because the ego mind thinks you'll be lazy. The ego mind thinks you're not being productive. The ego mind wants to push and drive you, right? It's not true. It's just keeping you out of alignment, right? Which would literally cause more stress and anxiety. And it certainly doesn't have you live the life that you know that you really want to live. It just continues to take you out of the present moment. So making sure that you are being true to yourself, being present, especially with yourself, so that you can tune into and be present with the people that are important to you in your life. To be present to life, to be present to what it is that you're manifesting and attracting, and letting that in, inch by inch, cinch by cinch. Yeah, it will occur naturally. It will grow. And this is where the foundations comes in. And this is what she realized. She was so impatient, she never created foundations. Foundations are the basics, everyday way of life that are basic, simple, ease and flow according to your highest values and the priorities that are important to you in your everyday way of life, business, career, health, fitness, relationships. And let's keep it simple, because it actually is. When you think it that way, when you get out of your head and you come back into your body and you stay present, one moment at a time, then you focus in, and then consistency occurs from there. It's a big conversation. It's a courageous conversation. And if that's something that you would like to speak more about, have more insight about, then please feel free to reach out. I'm Annette Stanton. I look forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you. Bye for now.